congratulations to Louisiana on a great win here at the Rock, and feel awful for our seniors not to go undefeated at home, but we came back on Sunday and flipped the page and getting ready for Georgia Southern.
We'll take our first questions from Ethan Joyce, Winston-Salem Journal.
Hey, Shawn. Just now that you've had the time to look at the tape, was there any kind of bigger takeaways that maybe weren't so much on your mind after the game, but stood out to you while you were looking?
No, I watched the game Friday night after the game. I watched the game and watched it on Saturday morning, and there's three things that stand out. We have 3 turnovers on offense. Our defense gave up 246 yards rushing, and we had 3 penalties on special teams. And we were 1 for 3 in the red zone. They were 4 for 5. And all of our losses, that's kind of the way it's been: turnovers and not stopping the rush and not playing well on special teams. So other than that, that's what it was. It's pretty black and white.
Oh, Georgia Southern kind of is what it is on offense. They do it every year. Defensively, seems like they do a pretty good job of forcing turnovers this year. But what's kind of been your takeaways of really diving into them?
I think Scott Sloan does a great job down there with Georgia Southern. Again, very similar defense to what we run here, so we're pretty familiar with it. We just have to execute at a high level and play our brand of football.
I know this is this has been a matchup the last 2 years that hasn't gone App State's way. And I wonder, is that kind of something that's palpable this week with some of these older guys now that this matchup's coming up and they've won the last 2?
This is such a big rivalry. The last 2 years we haven't come up on the right end of the stick, but it's a game we're looking forward to. And this game goes way back. And again, I think both programs have a ton of respect for each other, and it's one of those games you want to play in. As a player, that was your favorite game of the year, and now as a coach, it's still your favorite game of the year. But those guys are very similar to us in a lot of ways. Some of their branding of how they play the football, how they play the game. They like to run the football like we do and play great on defense. So it's going to be a great matchup.
Okay, we'll go next to David Ware, 24/7 Sports.
Morning, Shawn. When it comes to playing Georgia Southern, obviously their offensive style makes you do some things differently defensively, but because of the way they play offense, it also really stresses your offense, because you realize, generally speaking, you're going to get less possessions in that game than you might get in a normal paced game. When it comes to playing against Southern, and when you're talking to your offense, how do you address the need for really extra efficiency, realizing you might not get your hands on the ball as often?
No, very similar to Coastal Carolina. We took the ball first to try to steal an extra possession. But every possession counts this week, because they can take the ball and have it for multiple minutes. It's not going to be the team that goes 3 and out. They're going to run the football and make you play gap sound. So this week on offense is very important that we come out and be successful. And I really think successful on first downs, and that way we can get right on track. We can't have negative plays and get behind the sticks.
When it comes to playing against the option, obviously it's assignment football, kind of, Mach 3. Your run fits have got to be done properly. If not, that's when they end up standing in the end zone with the ball. Before the last 2 seasons, Dale Jones was here, was designing the run fits. You guys had a lot of success against them. What does having Dale back kind of bring to that defense in terms of familiarity with that particular offense?
Well, he's going against this offense for 24 years now, so he's got a pretty good feel for it. We work on this in the spring. We take several days from the spring and work on option football. And Dale's got a really good plan on it, but he comes back down to our guys executing, stay in your gaps and have clean eyes, because there are reads you have to do at the linebacker level and safety level. If you don't get the right read, that gives those guys big plays. So we were here late last night working on them, early this morning, and we'll continue to work this week on them.
Last question for me, just kind of a health check on the team. I know Cam, you said, was dealing with a little bit of a shoulder injury during the game Friday, and I'm sure there's some other bumps and bruises along the way. Anything significant we need to know about?
I don't think so. Cam was banged up. At one point, all 3 running backs were out. Cam Peoples was out, Nate Noel was out, Marcus Williams Jr. was out of this game on Friday. So they're back. They came in Saturday morning and feel okay. Yesterday they felt better, and we hope they're there for practice on Tuesday. Other than that, we're fine.
Okay, we'll take our next questions from Kenneth Reese, Watauga Online.
Hey, Coach, I know you're concentrating on this game first. I got two quick questions for you. Talking about this game coming up, how much pressure is on you, the rest of the coaching staff, and the players, knowing that this could very well be the final game of the season if you lose no bowl game?
Well, I'm not sure about the bowl game, but I don't think there's any added pressure. I think when you get a chance to play college football, I think it's a treasure, it's a gift, and it's something we shouldn't take lightly. But this game is the game. I mean, they probably feel the same way. I mean, it's that matchup you want when you're playing or you're coaching, that to go out and beat your arch rival. And again, they're doing all the right things there at Georgia Southern, and we have to make sure we're doing all the right things here.
I know you're there again. I know you're thinking about this game, but how disappointing is it that you're not playing for the conference title this year?
Well, there's some disappointment, but still, we can still be champions. And there's a bowl game out there for us to win. But there's high expectations here at App, and that's something that we all know. When you sign up to be the coach at Appalachian State or play here, there's expectations, not only from our fans, administration, but from ourselves, and we know that. And we've come up with a short and the stick a few times this year, but our players have done everything we've asked them to do, and I'm super proud of our team, our players, our coaches, the way they keep coming back to battle.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, we'll go to Mike Solarti, Spectrum News.
Hey, Coach. In looking at some of the stat breakdowns, it looks like both teams are kind of mirror images of each other when it comes to running the football, but Georgia Southern seems to struggle against defending the pass. They've given up over 220 yards per game in that facet. I mean, is this an opportunity perhaps for Zach and his receivers to maybe make a little bit of hay, and stressing the efficiency portion of your possessions? I mean, is this perhaps a week that throwing the football could be better than trying to run it?
It could be, but we're going to do our normal style of offense. And you go back and look at the stats, and we're on par where we have been the last 3 years. It's the only thing right now is really our nemesis is turnovers and red zone offense. And I say offense, I mean red zone scoring. You miss field goals and you turn the ball over, you don't get as many chances in the red zone. So we'll stay very familiar with what we've been doing, and might have a few plays up our sleeve.
You also have, I'm sure, supreme confidence in what Zach can do because of what he's meant to this program.
Without question, look at his resume, and it speaks for itself. And he's been off. He was off a few games this year, but I mean, that's people around him also that make plays. But got extreme confidence in Zach Thomas.
And kind of off the beaten path here. Did you, as a coach, perhaps miss an opportunity with Kendall Lamm as a receiver, because he's got pillow soft hands? He showed it yesterday.
Well, I never had a chance to coach Kendall, but I know he's very athletic, like most linemen are. So when they get the opportunity, I usually cash in on them.
Is there anybody on the staff that worked with him? And obviously he repped App State pretty well yesterday, and does every week. He's in the NFL, but that was an incredible little play call that Cleveland threw for him. I'm not sure if you saw it or got a chance to see it.
I didn't see it. I was told about it. We came in and worked early on Sunday till late last night. So social media is not my friend right now. So I got to stay off of it.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, we've got a couple more questions from Ethan Joyce.
Shawn, I was going to ask you about Kendall as well, but I guess kind of going off that, Coach Moore ever try to throw to an offensive lineman? Did you ever get a chance like that when you were playing?
He should have. I have the best hands on the team right now. But no, there's always some trick plays though. But no, he never did. But he should have.
And on a more serious note, I wanted to ask you a Nate Noel question. I know when you guys signed him, I feel like if I'm remembering correctly, he was signed a little bit late, but you guys really liked him from the jump as far as, what you thought he could become. But just as far as what he's been able to do this season, some out of necessity with just injuries, has he surprised you with, some of the impact he's been able to make?
I wouldn't say surprised. When you watch his high school tape, you could see what he had to offer as a player, and more importantly, as a person. He's an unbelievable person, a great character kid. And then we came to camp, he really picked up on our offense very quick. And he reminds me of Darrington in so many ways, of how smart he is, cerebral, how well he picks up the offense. And he's going to get better in time. I mean, he's going to be a big-time back here. And for his size, he packs a pretty good punch. And he never goes back which is unique for his size. But you could see in the game when he was healthy, he was running hard, and he got banged up and couldn't go as well.
When you're a coach, do you get a little nervous to make a comparison like that about a new guy coming in? I know you obviously see the talent and you can see some of the similarities, but I guess to kind of maybe to put that kind of mantle on a guy as soon as he's coming in, I guess when do you determine when it's an okay time to do it?
Well, I compare their freshman year. I'm not doing their whole body of work, just their freshman year, how Darrington picked up the offense and how smart he was. And Darrington was a coach from the field from an early age and had he's not quite as fast as Darrington, but has those skill traits and skill characteristics. But I wouldn't put that pressure on him. But just when you watch them, they're both their freshman year, they're very similar.